Firstly, I have to congratulate Harpenden Town. They got the 3 points, and in the end, it looked like a right thumping. I hate losing games. You know, it's always a tough one to take. It was a strange game from us because we actually started pretty well. We were in the ascendancy. We had a couple of good chances, which we didn't take. And like I said to the lads on the bench, we were sort of 15 minutes in just before they scored. And it was one of those games where I felt, for all our sort of pressure and territory, really, we hadn't really come away with anything to show. And then we've been sloppy at the front end of the pitch, not blocking passing lines. Their lad gets out, hits a ball. And to be fair, it's a good finish, and then we sort of hung in there. We then had a good period of momentum going into half time, and it was important just to get in at 1-0. And we've done loads and loads of work on Thursday about making sure that when we're attacking, we're switched on defensively. And then we lose possession. I've shouted it about 4 times before. We give the ball away, and seconds later you could drive a 747 straight through our defensive unit, and you cannot give Ewington an opportunity like that. He's done that at substantially higher levels. You put him at this level, he's always going to put it in the back of the net. So that was really infuriating because we just got ourselves a bit of momentum. We'd had a couple of really good chances, and you come away 2-0 down at half time. So it was a lively dressing room, I'm sure you can imagine. And then second half was all about coming out, putting them under pressure. We had to change shape again. We had to then be, proactive on the bench again, which is becoming too common a theme, which I'll get to in a bit. But we then come out and pressed them really well for the first 2 or 3 minutes, got them locked in. You think, right, this is what we need to be. This is a lot more intense with the way that we press the game. And then we gift him a third goal, and it's an absolute gift. Don't get me wrong, he's still got work to do when he rounds Connor. But we've put him straight in, and he rightfully takes his chance, and it's 3-0, and then you're up against it. But we've had a couple of other good opportunities, and then the fourth goal, it's quite well worked from them. But again, the ease at which he's allowed to drop into the pocket on the turn, slide his mate in, and then go for the give and go, and he's got a tap in. And in all fairness, from that point onwards, we huffed and puffed, but probably could have been 5 or 6 in the end, and that has been a theme that I've not been happy with this season. So it was an emphatic scoreline in the end, but we were left to rue missed chances, and unfortunately at these levels it's what you do in both boxes, and we fell majorly short on the day, and we're rightfully beaten. And like I said, I'm not going to be one of these who comes out and starts issuing apologies to supporters and stuff like that, because I think it's a cop-out. We were miles off it. We were miles off it again on Saturday, and it's not acceptable, and there will be some drastic changes coming up over the next 2 weeks. So Baldock, it's in the end, I think it's a point that we'll probably look back on and go, when they're down to, they've got obviously players in the sin bin, they're down to 10, at 1-1, you're hopeful that we can go on and win the game. But at 1-0, to be honest with you, they've had a great chance, but probably should have made it 2. They're always tight affairs. Every time we play Baldock, it's always a tight game, and I thought we lacked quality. I thought our possession retention high up the pitch was really poor on the day. The pleasing thing for me was I thought we operated with a better intensity to Saturday. I don't think it could have got much worse from Saturday, in all fairness. But from the way that I see it, we have to get ourselves back to do what we do well. And at the moment, we've not got anywhere near scaling the heights that we did back end of last season, or for the majority of last season. So we've got to get ourselves back to basics, because at the moment we're a little bit too soft to play against. And I made this comment last year, and like I said, I don't think there's going to be runaway leaders this year. We're still in the mix. I mean, it's still early in the season. We're ninth. It's not the start any of us wanted. Myself, more than anybody's disappointed with the start. But now we've got a 2.5 week break, and what's really important now over the next 2.5 weeks is that we get ourselves right, because on Tuesday, with all due respect, it could have been 2-0 before we got ourselves back to 1-1, and then they've obviously had a couple of sin bins, which kills your momentum a little bit. But I thought we could have used the man advantage a little bit better. But fair credit, their centre half, the number 5, I think, was Dempsey. The challenge he makes right at the last kick of the game is as good as you'll see at this level, and you would have banked on Tolu to have rolled that one in the bottom corner. So unfortunately for us, it's a point, but it's a point in the right direction. It certainly, as I said, was a marginal improvement in terms of effort, in terms of attitude, from what we saw on Saturday's horror at Harpenden. So yeah, we're hopeful now with a 2.5 week break that we can get Joe Sellers-West back. As I've said numerous times, he's a really important player for us. He's one that gets his foot on the ball, he's one that looks after the ball for us, and we've definitely missed him. It's going to be a 2.5 weeks now, which we're going to utilise, and effectively, I've said it already, it's going to be a reset. I think we need to reset. I think I blame myself. I've given some people here a little bit of autonomy to go a little bit outside of my non-negotiables in terms of playing style, and it hasn't worked. And unfortunately, we've got too many that have been a little bit divisive this season. And like I say to the players now, it's going to be our way as a coaching team, and that's going to be it. It's shape up or ship out, as they say. So there's a few things, like I said, it's more than a few things that I've been really disappointed with. Fair credit to the players on Tuesday after the game. They were quite open, quite honest. I still think there's a lot of things that need to be said, which I'll be saying tonight and saying over the next 2.5 weeks. So there will be some departures from the group. Some might be surprised, some less so. But we're going to get back to where we were last year. We've lost that intensity. We haven't had the same intensity. We're lacking aggression with and without the ball. So what I mean by that is we're not moving the ball with a quick enough tempo, and we're not shutting down and pressing the ball well enough. And there's quite a few in denial at the moment, so I'm going to change that one over the course of the next 2 weeks. And it's going to be, this is the way it's going to be, and it's our way, because at the moment, conceding 3s and 4s every single week isn't acceptable. It's throughout my career I've not been used to teams shipping that level of goals, but it's the manner of the goals. We're not making teams work hard enough to score goals against us. We're making life too easy. So, like I've said, it's time to realign, reset, and get back to what we do well, which is running after people. It's playing with an intensity. It's been difficult to play against. And last year, one of the big compliments I took from other managers was when they said how hard we were to play against. This year, it's like playing against a load of kittens. We don't have any spite about us. We're cute, we're nice, we look great, we look fantastic, we're lovely people. But at the moment, we lack a little bit of spite, and that's why I was really pleased with Sam Scott on Tuesday. I thought he came in, he was excellent. He's waited his opportunity. He's found a voice within the group. We are looking to bring additional players in. It gives us a 2.5 week window now. I know we've had offers in for a couple of our players through the back door as always, which again I'll address this week with the managers in question. So expect a call. But yeah, I've not been happy at all with what was so far this season, even the wins, and I said I've not enjoyed it enough. So we're going to get back to mine and Dirks' way, Anthony's way. We're going to get back to the way that we want it to be played, and start picking up some points, because before we know it, the 30th will be here. We're at home against Stansted, and we owe our supporters, our directors, we owe everybody a performance, because at the moment we've been nowhere near where we need to be. So I've said it once and I'll say it again, shape up or ship out. So don't get too close to too many, because there might be a few departing shortly. So looking forward to it, really excited about the challenge ahead of us now over the next 2.5 weeks, and we've got to get to work. So look forward to seeing you on the 30th of September here at home against Stansted.